Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. This is VCT Webster, and today we'll be talking about Black Clover Chapter 234. Again, quick reminder this video will contain spoilers, so if you haven't read the chapter, I strongly urge you to do so. So, if you already read this chapter or just don't care about spoilers, let's begin. So, this chapter begins back at the Golden Dawn headquarters. Three members of the Golden Dawn are discussing Yuno and his origins from Hage. They talk about how hard it is to believe that he's from Hage, considering he has a lot of magic. Well, guess what, bruv? Yuno ain't really a peasant, he's royalty. There's one moment when one of the guy members thinks that the girl member is in love with Yuno or something like that, or she has a crush on him. And of course, typical in anime, she denies it completely. And and apparently the guy makes a comment how there's a lot of girls who like Yuno, and there's like fan clubs and everything throughout the kingdom. And I wonder, like, are there any Asta fan clubs like there are for Yuno? It is the whole thing that like everybody loves Yuno, and Asta they forget about him. But you got to remember, Asta does have three girls who are completely head over heels for him. So, anyways, the member ends his train of thought by stating that Yuno could actually become Wizard King, seeing that he became vice captain after only 18 months. But I'm wondering, like, can he really? Like, he is Spade Kingdom royalty. Is he allowed to be the Clover Kingdom's Wizard King once it becomes known to everybody? Like, that's what I'm kind of wondering, like how the politics work there. I'm guessing he could probably beat the Spade Kingdom's Wizard King pretty easily, seeing as he's one of the strongest mages around, and he's royalty. So I don't know, maybe if they have that over there. I don't know if they have that. Anyways, the chapter then moves on back to Hage, and we get the priest and Sylph's reaction to the news of Yuno's royalty status. And I couldn't have asked for anything better. They're both literally squealing with excitement. Yuno, of course, gets annoyed and tells them to quiet down. But you gotta love how much they bonded. The priest and the Sylph over this whole thing with Yuno. Like it was pretty funny. So Yuno then goes on, and he asks the man whose name is Ralph, like, why the Spade Kingdom abandoned him in the Clover Kingdom and why he's back now. So Ralph tells him that everybody else basically sent him there, and like they gave him his magic, their magic to him, so he could tell the whole truth. Then he uses a spell called Flame Magic, Trace Mirage, and this spell kind of gives visions, and it seems that those visions are memories, other people's memories of him that they have with him, something like that. So we see a lot of memories. Like we see his mom right after Yuno's being born. She thanks him for being born, which is kind of weird. We we see Rao's father, who's the captain of the Division 1 of the Magic Defense Force. So I'm guessing he's a pretty important guy in their military. He's trying to hold Yuno, and Yuno's crying, and we see him like desperately trying to see, like, what do I do? How do I get him to stop crying? You know, we see some women fawn over him, and then we see other men as well saying how he's gonna become a great wizard and everything. Sorry. And we're also shown how Yuno got his magic stone, which it seems to be brought by a mystery mage who acquired it from a strong magic region, and it was presented to someone for them to give to Yuno. Then we see Ralph getting a pep talk from who I'm assuming is his dad, telling him to protect Yuno no matter what. The vision then flashes forward to the castle being attacked by the Sograti siblings. They seem to say that the king, as well as many royals, have been killed, and that the siblings have the power of the devil. So Ralph's father resolves himself to save Yuno, knowing if he's found, he will be killed without question. However, as the ones attacking the kingdom know the kingdom very well, Ralph's dad has to leave the kingdom. So he travels through a strong magic region with his subordinates sacrificing himself by staying behind and holding off the attackers. And as he's exiting the strong magic region and reaches the edge of Hage village, he uses the last of his magic and perhaps his final breath to use his wind magic and send Yuno to the church doorstep. Wow, that was quite the recap of Yuno's early childhood. So, there's a few things that I noticed here that I want to point out and discuss further. First and foremost, judging the one thing that I saw here is seeing how everybody's fighting over Yuno and how like just the way all everybody in the memories kind of acted. And I'm guessing most of them were nobles or like other royalty. They seem to be a lot nicer than the ones in the Clover Kingdom. You know, like just their demeanor and the way they talk is a lot warmer and kinder. You know, maybe it's because it's so damn cold that they have to have warm personalities. I don't know, but it really seemed like at least the impression I got is that the nobles and royalty love their people, and the people love them back. Especially when you know, Ralph keeps saying how the citizens are worried about you. You know, like they really care about their royalty. Whereas in the Clover Kingdom, the nobles and royalty, for the most part, put themselves above commoners, and they always hold them like in some kind of contempt, like they hate him or they're disgusted by them. And the people, the commoners and the peasants, they don't really seem to love the nobles or royalty. It's more like they respect them out of fear. And if this is the case, I can see this turning into a good plot point in the future as to what caused the Spade Kingdom to fall or to be taken over in such a way. I'm thinking right now maybe the Socrates siblings were nobles who didn't like the way the royalty interacted with the common folk. They thought like they're an embarrassment to our nobility. They bump rub elbows with the common folk. No, we're above them. Whatever, all that stuff. Another thing I wanna, and I'll keep talking about that. I'll get back to that point later on. So, the next thing I want to talk about is the magic stone. Again, in last week's video, I talked about how I feel like it's going to play a major role in the future, and I feel that what we see, or rather what we don't see here, further supports this idea. So they did kind of answer my question on how it came to Yuno's possessions. Someone found it in a strong magic region, which kind of tracks, as it seems that we found some magic stones. I remember that we had a whole thing where one stone was sitting in the strong magic region where it was underwater and everything. And who knows, maybe the witch and Captain Fuego Leon, they both found it in their own respective stones in strong magic regions and just carried it with them. But what was really interesting about that for me is the fact that we don't see who it is that gives it or who's actually receiving it to give to Yuno. At first I thought it might have been Ralph's dad who had it or found it. But if it is, why not show him? And also, it doesn't really make sense since he's supposed to be like the the captain of the division of the defense. I don't think he'll be, since he has such an important position in the military. I don't think he'll really be out there traveling and going to strong magic regions. No, it just doesn't make sense to me. I think that whoever this person is will be very important down the line. Like at first, like my first thought was, well, maybe it might have been Lich, or what's his name? Forgot his name. The guy with the beast magic. But then, like, I did the math in my head, and it wouldn't make sense. Lich didn't fully awaken until um I believe until William Vangelis was around, I want to say 15 or 16. I think it was 16. And that's way after this thing happens. So it can't be them. but I know it's gonna be somebody important, and maybe that person who gave that magic stone, maybe he's playing some kind of puppet master. I know I'm going down big rabbit hole, but I don't know. I just feel that this is a very important um panel that we see. So the next thing I want to talk is the attack by the Socrates siblings, which I'm assuming, until I'm proven wrong, that they are the Dark Triad before they receive that moniker, given that they use devil magic, and we saw them in the thing 2 chapters ago, and I don't know, like I'm going back again, like from what we saw when we saw them being introduced, they really did look like royal, like not royalty, but they look like nobility. The way they acted, the way they dressed, the way they moved and talked, they seem like nobles. So again, going back to my previous point, like maybe that's the reason why they took over the Spade Kingdom, because they didn't like what they saw. They didn't like they were how it was being ruled. How they thought they should have been above more about the commoners even more. Sorry, the words. Um, I'm also wondering, like, they use devil magic. I wonder if they have black grimoires like Asta has, because he does have the power of a devil. His anti magic is like, is that the only way to get it with the black grimoires? And if they do have it, like, did they obtain it the same means that the devil said in the previous arc that you had to get it, like by driving somebody to complete despair, that their grimoire turns into a 5-leaf clover or a demon grimoire in that case, because I don't know how it will work with the Spade Kingdom grimoire. Like, there's just so many questions and so much to ask about in regards to devil powers, because so far we have two devil powers that we confirm that they exist, which is Asta's anti magic, and then the word magic that the devil had, and both of them are extremely overpowered. I just want to know more, and I'm getting excited. I'm getting really excited for it. I want to know more and more and more, and I feel like they're finally gonna get into the nitty gritty of it all. So, a quick thing, they show it when they show the invasion and they show the enemies attacking. They show the silhouette of the one leading the attack. At first, I thought it might have been Xenon, the Black Triad, who was responsible for taking over the Diamond Kingdom. But after rereading chapter 331, I'm not so sure. Because there we see him talking to Dante, and Dante asks if he's finally getting used to his devil power. And that seems like a weird thing to ask, because, like, even though, like, that, like, it seems like devil power it's an extremely powerful thing, 15 years seems like a long time to get used to it. And it kind of sounded like he barely acquired that kind of devil power. And it seems that whoever was attacking during that time, I'm assuming whoever was leading it had already full control of their double powers. So I don't think it was Xenon. My best guess would be it was Dante himself. And one final thought on the flashback is that, and this is just me admiring a little detail, was that I think it's a nice touch that Yuno's magical attribute is wind, just like the man who saved him from his certain death. It's almost like he inherited the guy's magical attribute. Maybe there's something to that, or maybe it's just a coincidence. But either or, I think it's a very poetic, detail. So the flashback ends, and we get back to Yuno and Ralph talking. Ralph reiterates that everything that Yuno saw was true, and that not only him and his family that has served the royal house for generations are praying for Yuno's safety, but there's a lot of citizens from the Spade Kingdom as well. Which, and then that got me thinking. So, how many citizens from the Spade Kingdom, know about know that he's still out there, still alive? And how much do they know? Like, do they know that he's still alive and he's a resident from the Clover Kingdom, or that he's in hiding, or do they know exactly like, oh yeah, like our prince is the current captain of the Golden Dawn? Like, how much do they know? Because it seems like something like that, some such information like that, will be hard to keep quiet, you know. And I feel like along the way, the Wizard King would have found out, or maybe he already knows. I don't know, but it seems like I want to know how much they know. I feel like that's gonna play a really big plot point in the future. So it seems like that Yuno seems to believe everything Ralph is saying. You know, like he doesn't seem to doubt what he says, but he does state that while it seems like he's saying like, well, it may be true that Yuno might be the prince of the Spade Kingdom. He says that he's still Yuno of the Clover Kingdom. And when he said that, Ralph looked like really disappointed by this, and it seems like he's about to say something, but he's interrupted by an emergency call that Yuno gets from the Golden Dawn headquarters, and they are under attack by the Dark Triad led by Xenon, and it seems like they are after a particular mage. My first guess, of course, will be Yuno. It makes perfect sense. He's the captain of the Golden Dawn. He's the prince. And he'll be, if it, assuming it's true that he's the prince, he's the only real threat to their claim to the Spade Kingdom. But I don't know. Like, I can't really pinpoint it. I have to like reread, but something makes me think that it could be someone else, and part of me kind of wants it to be someone else. Like, it's not just it might be somebody with us, because they say the with the stage arcane mage, which has me thinking maybe like it's somebody who has some kind of particular power that they want to control, or they want to eliminate, because there'll be something that will be very risky for them to go up against. Like, I just really hope it's something like that. And well, the chapter then ends with Sino giving the order that they're just there for that one particular mage, and everyone else they can kill and should kill. So yeah, like that was we got quite a bit of exposition in that chapter, and I feel like they're like right now, the way the chapters are gonna be for, I'm pretty sure it's gonna be at least 5 more chapters. They're gonna be setting up and giving us a lot more exposition to kind of set us up for the new direction, this new arc that's going down. Anyways, that is all I have to say today. What do you guys think about this chapter? Did you like it or not? Leave your comments and thoughts down in the comments below. Once again, if you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe and notification button so you don't miss any of them. Once again, thanks again for watching, and I will see you all next time.